Well, I'm down in Kentucky today, down here looking for the Civil War camp. This will be my 4th time out. I've came, I think, 2 other times, and I never showed a video because I haven't found anything yet. I've been waiting for the fields to get mowed in the back, and now they are. And so that's why I'm here. We have to get to this gate that's behind me here. If you can see that, you can get up the hill, get my gear on, and then head over the hill. And hopefully sometime today I'll be able to show you some stuff that I'm finding. Some of it might just be old relic stuff or farm stuff that have been dropped in the past. But what I'm hoping for is really anything, absolutely anything that pertains to the Civil War. So let's get up the hill and get back in there. If you haven't seen any of the previous videos, I'll get you up to speed quickly. This is a farm of 850 acres. When I was 21, I'm now 38, I started researching and finding little tidbits of information about a Civil War camp that existed in my county. And talking to old folks and people that used to own this farm, or people that used to know the people that owned this farm when they were kids, because this is a very long time ago, all the hearsay evidence, I guess, to say, when it existed. And all I'm doing is running off that information, what information I can find at the U.S. Library of Congress, and that's it. The rest of it is search, search, search. Haven't found anything yet, but I'm still waiting for the day that I do. Hopefully today is it. I'll go over settings because when I get back there I get excited and I go straight into metal detecting. And what a better place to do it than at this gigantic, awesome, beautiful pond. I'm going to be using the MX Sport today. For one, it's going to be raining at some point today, most likely. 60% chance of thunderstorms. I brought my rain gear and the Sport instead of the V3i. Batteries are charged using a 13-inch. I just got this thing within the last probably 3 weeks. I've used it, I think, once at the last hunt that I did at the old home site from the 1860s up in Ohio. And going to be in relic mode. I'm going to push my sensitivities as high as they will go, as long as they'll run stable. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to be listening to all metal because I'm in the relic mode on here, which runs the all metal and also discriminate channel. So let's get back in there and get started. So this is where we are. I'm going to use my pen for a pointer. This map here, the darker one, is a modern map from 2017. And I'm actually standing in this field right now as we're filming currently. And this has been my main focus, and this is the field that just got cut. I've been metal detecting. As you can see, this is my first trip out. I covered this area, and I got some notations of where I found stuff. I then metal detected woods here, and here, and then the 3rd time out I metal detected here and here and here, and a little bit over in a field that's also was plowed during a time period that was part of a story where somebody had found something out here relative to the Civil War. This map up here is 1960. Story goes that man cleared some trees in order to make some fields to put some tobacco in for a couple of years, and he found cannonballs, a pistol, a musket, and a bunch of musket balls. And so in 1960, this is a fresh field. I have a picture from 1948, but for some reason it's not with me. This was just woods, and it got cleared from between 48 and 60. So that's the only information that I have. So I'm saying in 1960, which fits the story, this field was plowed, which is right here. You can see that darker line there. And then this area was plowed. You can see I made another darker line here, and I've been there 2 times already. It's a bunch of cedar trees, so you can metal detect underneath there fairly easily. The acid in the cedar trees kills everything underneath them, so it's pretty clear. But I haven't been able to get in this field. This field is also plowed during the 1960 period, and just being that the story talks about a plowed field, and I'm assuming it's this one, I just did a little test down here in the corner, and as you can see there, no recovery. I didn't find anything. So I'm going to focus right here, and anywhere in this field, from one side to the other, I'm going to be searching today. Here's a quick shot of the field to give you perspective on how big this is. It's probably about 50 yards between the camera and that wood line there. As we're coming through, you'll see that there's a tractor, and then they're building a deer stand because the owners and friends hunt out here. So that gives you a pretty good idea. And you can see there's another deer stand way down there. And back beyond that, about another 50 yards, is still more field. So this is what I have to hunt. Here's the first signal of the day, and just to let you know, the MX Sport has a screen cover, but I put another screen cover on here. As you can tell, I'm not the best artist with the screen cover there. I was kind of rushing and throwing it on there before I drove down here this weekend. Not all that deep, 3 inches. finally get to use the shovel that I made in my video. Works pretty good. I like the old shovel. Easy, cheap to replace as well. Everything's kind of stuck together. It's a fired modern bullet's what that is. Won't clean it off a whole lot. Looks like a 243 maybe, the base of it. But you can see it's all mushroomed out, and that's what they're designed to do. The copper jacket comes off the lead part. That's the next target at 3.5 inches. I'm about an inch or two off the ground. 55 all up to 67. It's dropped to about a 32. Take a piece of flat iron. I think that was just it. On to the next. Got a target hitting in the 40s. 40 VDI here. It's about 4 inches deep. Take a look at this one. Looks modern. Modern as in the last 50 years. It's a rifle casing. It's a good old 30-30 Winchester. It would have been a tapered cartridge out to probably about right here, the end of the brass, so it would have tapered down some. Somehow this one corroded away over the years. There's a pinpoint at 2.5. I've been noticing that everything's a lot deeper than what it states. You can see it's a 65 to 69. Let's see what it is. See if it's in the plug. Looks like it's still down in there. Maybe missed it a little bit. Here's a ring. Here's a ring. That's what I found. Looks like something that maybe went in a horse bit or possibly a logging chain. Got a target here at 57 VDI. Seems to be a large target. Still 55, 52 in the plug. Whatever it is not that old. And there it is. Looks like somebody liked Pepsi. Well, I've been hunting for about an hour and a half now, and I've dug quite a few items. Some of them I've shown you, some of them I haven't. I'm gonna dig them out of my bag and let you see what I'm finding. Tell you a little bit about what theory I have about what used to might have been here. And then I'm gonna take a break. Somewhat hot today, 85. If you're down south, and yeah, I know that's not hot. But if you're from Canada, it is hot. So I'm gonna go over here and sit down, show you some stuff, take a break, and get back to it, actually in a new spot. Well, here's what we have so far. Remember the rings. It could be horse bits or logging chains. Pepsi stuff, bunch of 30-30 shells, old ones that have, you know, since the ends have decayed off of them or rotted away. This is an arrow shaft off the hunting arrow. Bunch of iron, looks like the end of a file, also known as a mill bastard. This is actually a true name. And then, I don't know what that is. Tapers down into something small right there, and might have been some kind of like poker or whatever. I don't know. Could have been a handle on this side, and it could have been a chisel. Not sure. Pretty rusty. That odd looking one there. Not sure. Looks like a strap to something, like would have bolted down on something. Got this here. I'm not sure on that. Let me get my focus right. Unlock. There we go. We got this little thing here. It looks like it's made out of brass. I don't know if it maybe popped off of a hunting rifle, or the piece of metal that goes in between the blades on a pocket knife, and then the outside would have had like the wood or the bone covering, because that kind of looks like the end of a pocket knife. And then we got these. Look familiar? We found something like this, but it was all whole, which I never find, in one piece. Here's a piece. Here's a piece. And then that appears to be a corner. It's still got that curvature to it and somewhat decorative edge. That is a cast iron fireplace again, and the one that sits in the room and has a stack that goes out the side of the house. And there's only one reason why you would have one of those, is because you'd have a structure that you would need to heat and live in. I have no record of a house being up here. I guess there could be a junk pile that were a bunch of stuff off the farm got brought back and tossed into it, but I'm not finding quite enough stuff in that whole area. It's probably a 30 yard by 30 yard area that I just hunted to be considered a junk pile. You can tell there's a house. Not only this, but this. Been finding quite a bit of that in this field. I call this glazed block. They generally make milk houses out of them for dairy farms. It's pottery. It's been fired. They make blocks out of it, and then they put a glazing on it that I guess help make it impervious to water so that it makes a decent structure, or building blocks for a structure. So I found quite a bit of that out here, and that and this pretty much designate something was there at one time that was a house. The new spot, you can see the tractor that I showed you earlier. All we did was go deeper in the farm, deeper only maybe 80 yards or so to the end of this ridge. Well, the open part here that's mowed. We're gonna hunt around in here, do another maybe 30 yard, 50 yard square area, and see what we come up with. Something really big and iron. I typically don't dig these, but today I did, and I found this. Let's look at it. Here's what we have. I don't know what that is. Sure looks like, I don't know, maybe a tedder on a hay rake or so. Them things that hold those tedders, I guess is what it's called. The big stick that flips the hay over. If anybody knows what that is, let me know, but it's something farm related. On to the next. 4.5 inches. 16 to 20. Still in the hole. I think I know what this is. Maybe. Turn you in the sun so you can see. Got any guesses? Yep, that's what it is. Open that up some. Piece of a harmonica reed. Not a lot of it, but that's pretty old. Next target's at 2 inches. Reading 75, 76. I don't know. Usually when you're out in the farm field and you get those kind of numbers, it's usually a mashed soda can. It's on down in there. What is that? Maybe. No, I know what that is. That's what we got. It's about 6 inches in diameter. See, it's got that little handle on it. The big cast iron stove had openings in it. And these things would open up. And I believe that's what that is. You would grab it with a hook that way. Or actually, there was an opening right there, and you'd put the hook down inside there. But on top of a stove, a wood stove that you would cook on, it's about probably 14 inches deep. It read 2 inches. Well, I don't have much to show for this field. I did dig quite a few targets, although a lot of it was just iron. I went ahead and stuck it in my backpack. It's about as interesting as that bar right there. We got a can. Looks like the infamous Beanie Weenie top, the pop rivet, the harmonica reed, a bullet, quite a few bullets out here. But that's pretty much all I got out of this field. Well, I just can't stay away. I'm back to this foundation again. I decided to come back here. They did some mowing down here as well. They didn't do it right on this site, but where I used that brush axe last time, swinging it around. It's still low enough to hunt, but I'm gonna hunt over there because they opened up quite a bit of area, mowed really short. So, I don't know, something to do. We'll try it out, see what we can dig out of here. Super responsive. It's right there. It's not real deep, at least from that reading there. And that's probably what we're hunting. Here's what we have. I don't think it has anything wrote on it. Oh, huh. Look at that. Let me clean it up. You can probably see them start coming to life there. Surprised I haven't found the whole harmonica yet out here on this site. I don't think I've ever found so many harmonica reeds. That is a full, heavy duty, full harmonica reed. It says 3.5. 69 to 75, 62. See if we still get the same response. I've got 74. Right there I got 82. I'm gonna bring you all down here. It's a little better. I believe it's over here. Maybe this is just a mason jar lid. Or this, a ring. Terrible. They always sound like that. Good size, good shape, other than it's hollow and made out of iron and not a quarter. But I guess I can say that's my smallest ring of the day. On to the next. I've been digging up that hole right there, trying to find some target. I'm having a hard time finding it. I think it's just a large piece of steel down in there, but I found this glass in there. Isn't it awesome? It's purple. Don't see that real often, but that right there is actually a finished edge. It's got some, real high decoration right there. It's pretty cool. There's another piece of it. It looks like maybe the bottom. It's got a marking there. I don't know if anybody else does a lot of work with glass, but you can see that B. Other detail. It's pretty cool stuff. That's at least 100 years old plus. There's the edge work. I wish it was whole, but it's not. I'll keep working on this hole. If you see a new one, there's nothing in that one. Been digging a 40 signal, and I just pulled it out, and then the metal detector said it's somewhere up here. We're gonna see what it is. Got it in my hand. Huh, what do you think? I really don't know what that is myself. Let me get the old toothbrush out. Clean it up and then I'll show you here in just a sec. Alright, here it is. Is that a lady's? I don't think it's a suspender clip, but I think women wore something to keep like all their stuff, since I don't know a whole lot about it. Maybe the women on here could help out. But they hold up like certain garments for females, but just because this one's a little bit more dainty. See the little tiny bar across the top instead of usually it has just a big gripping teeth for like what men would wear for suspenders. You can see 1871 right there, and then on the same leaflet to the left in mirror it says patent 1871. S&G-M Company. The reverse is just a stamp. About 4 inches deep. 72 to 77. Not in the plug. It's a good sign. Let's see what this is. Okay, it's not in a hole. It's right there. What is that? Not sure on that one. Now the screw went in right there. It's reminded me of like a butt plate on a rifle or something. But it need to be a little bit longer. It's made out of brass. No armor's marks, that kind of stuff. Huh. Interesting. I've been digging a bunch of signals, so I haven't been video recording. So here's what I did not record out of that hole. It's a hatchet, but that is definitely done by somebody by hand. That's a blacksmith doing that one. Look how old school that is. All them notches in the sides where they use that tool to hold it while they're beating on it to form it. Put that hole in the middle of it. Looks like it's maybe a little cracked on this end. But man, that's an oldie right there. 5767. Well, there it is again. The infamous ring with hook. Here's a little closer look. There it is, and there's the hook. 3.5 inches. 69.71. Piece of pottery. That old, I can't remember what kind of pottery that is, but it's like glazed stuff. Something there. I don't know what this is. Let's let you take a look at it. Here's the interesting side. You can see that I got this little thing to move. This feels pretty old, but got a little arm. This looks like a needle that would have ran along those tick marks there. There's the fulcrum point. I can't get that one to move, but I'm not going to force it. I have no idea what that is. Well, the last time I was out here, I showed you all the well. Stone laid, about 30, 35 feet deep. It's pretty awesome. I'm over here metal detecting over in the wooded area. There's an odd formation here in the ground that kind of goes around the house. I don't know if it's a drive or what it was, part of the yard. But I just found another well. Let's take a look at it. It looks like it may have been filled in some. I haven't actually gone over there yet. It's right here. The house is right over top of those bushes, and I've been over there most all the time I've been out here. And I just came through these woods and working up. You can maybe, well, you probably can't see, but right here in front of me, this is all a little bit higher, and it runs down the other side. That's the honey locust there. Don't lean up against that tree, but the ground just looks like it's been worked a little bit. But let's get over here and check this out together. It's definitely a well, and you can see that it's been filled in or it collapsed itself. I'm not going to stand on that because it might just, it looks like they put field stones down in it and filled it up. This was a big one. This might have been the first one. Looks older. Stones aren't as big, and they're not, I know this Virginia creeper's getting in the way. I was seeing it, but if you were in person you could see it. That's the edge of it there, and then you can see holes and stuff where it would go down in there. That one's probably safe. The other one's just a big old hole. See down in there? So, there's two wells. It's hard to see everything with all the foliage on and like weeds and stuff. I like to get in here and clear all this out so I can actually get to half of it, because I'm only metal detecting like 20% of it, and you can see what I found so far. A lot of it's not awesome, but who knows what else is in there, you know? Let's get back to it. I got a signal right here. So right there's the well. And right there where my shovel's, that's my first signal in this area. There's no way you can't dig that one. Whatever that is. It's this. There's a peg, maybe a belt buckle. Let me clean it off. I must have not hit the record button while I was in the field, but as you can see, it says Keystone. It's made out of brass. There's a pin right there, looks like a pinhole right there. Flip it over. That's what I thought was a belt buckle clasp. You can see there. But that right there is a hole for a key. This is 1/2 of a base of a lock. You can see where the locking mechanism that usually goes through something, that's half of the holes. You can see the half moons there. So that's what that actually turned out to be, and not a belt buckle. Well, that's it for this place. I'm gonna head back up, maybe get out in the creek back there towards the truck up front. I need to get closer to the front of the farm, because as the day progresses, I get a little bit weaker. It is now 3 o'clock, I think, somewhere around in there, and I got here at 7 a.m. Long day. All right, let's go up there. Little shower coming through. As you can see, I'm all the way back at the truck all of a sudden. The storm started rolling in. I really didn't get anything on film that was super interesting. So I decided to come back to the truck and drink this Coke I've been thinking about all day, because I only drink like 4 a month. And watch this storm come in. It's cooled off quite a bit. It's really beautiful down here. I really miss the hills and the trees, big forest, and just the way it smells and feels. This is home for me. So, even if I didn't find any Civil War relics today, I did get to spend a day out in the woods in my favorite state and home. It was a good day. You don't always get what you're trying to find when you're out metal detecting. It happens. It's part of the game. And I'm okay with that. So until next time, take care, and I'll see you then.